Hi, I'm Supermoon Tarot, and today we are going to be answering the question, what they think you think of them. Perspective in a relationship or friendship, whatever ship we're sailing here, is so important because sometimes what they think of us shows what we're putting out there that we're not aware of. Sometimes it shows something that they've been through that's caused them to have this perspective. And that's so important to better understanding how you can connect with them better or overcome problems together or have that much better of a friendship or romance, again, whatever ship you're sailing, and be closer together as human beings, which is always a beautiful thing. And if it is something on their part, you can help them overcome their own personal problems in the most appropriate way possible and have the utmost compassion, sympathy, and potentially empathy. You never know, maybe you can relate to whatever they've been through. Either way, we're going to be talking about that today and whatever comes through in the cards. As you can see, we've got 4 lovely hearts here you can choose from. Choose whatever resonates with you. That was meant to be a cuter shade of lavender. Don't ignore her just because she came out a little grayer. Imagine a lovely lavender, kind of like this shimmery heart over here. But either way, pick the group you feel your gut resonating with. I'll give you a moment to decide. And you can go down to the description where the timestamps are marked below, and let's get started reading group number 1. Group number 1, let's answer the question, what they think you feel for them. Let's start off with your oracle card, which is Follow the Leader Upright. Your tarot cards are King of Wands in reverse, 3 of Pentacles in reverse, 2 of Cups upright, 2 of Wands in reverse, and 3 of Cups in reverse. Okay, so this is for romance and friendship. This is kind of a general reading, but even if it is romantic, there is a strong, like, person-to-person connecting admiration friendship thing coming in the strongest. So I want to just put that out there. It looks like they are super concerned that they blew it with you. And they had an opportunity, it didn't work out. They're upset and they feel like they've kind of lost this chance with you, and that in the long term, they could lose you altogether. So let's just kind of get into the brass tacks of it all. So first off, follow the leader oracle card. This is our big opportunity presenting itself. This is about a time when they knew that they were aware of this. They were aware that to you, they were somebody you could trust, who would guide both of you in the right direction. They had something to share. I'm seeing over here had something to do with you admired, like things like skills, like the way they carried themselves. There was a smartness to them, and they knew they had this sort of advantage, and they were excited about showing it off, and there was a lot of positive intentions of being the person that you saw them as and wanting to fulfill that role. But unfortunately, it looks like here with the King of Wands in reverse, something messed up. The thing I'm a little, because this is a general reading and this, we'll just see how this resonates with you, but in every single card interaction, I'm getting a constant repeat of new beginnings. So what I mean by that is when things are not going well between the two of you, or they feel they have messed up this opportunity with you, it's because of this. So what's interesting about that is often when I'm reading cards and something doesn't go right, it wouldn't be uncommon if I saw some sort of conflict or fight or major change happen. But in this case, it looks like they were doing their thing, leading, and the experience and relationship between the two of you were great, and you kind of took a new step together. It was a positive change for both of you, but somehow within that positive change, things started to kind of go off, and they messed up somehow, and they didn't fulfill this role they wanted to fulfill for you. So they no longer were the leader or the dominant person, and it looks like where it specifically got messed up was when we talked about their skills, their abilities, the thing that you admired about them. This is like tangible proof of what they can accomplish, essentially. It looks like they weren't able to execute the ideas properly. I'm seeing a lot of disharmony with a multiple group of people, but we'll get to that in a second. Either way, they feel that is the major thing that made them second guess their abilities in being able to fulfill this role for you. And they just were like, oh no, I messed it up. I messed all of it up. Now, the thing is with the Two of Cups here, they feel that they have not fully lost you. They can still feel, if this is romantic, they can still feel your love. If this is friendship, they can still feel that the two of you are close and there's a friendship and there's a trust going on. And they at least can take comfort that you know that they have your best intentions at heart. They really do. They want that. They can feel that from you. They know they haven't completely lost you, and this wasn't a major mess up. And all of this doesn't feel like any malintentions. It's just like they messed up and they feel self-conscious about it. And they feel have you. But over here is where the worry continues, and they're really concerned about the long run of not being able to execute this role and ideas successfully. Over here, I can see that there is a worry about they're starting to become more misaligned, more disorganized, both internally, spiritually, like they're feeling off now, they're not feeling like themselves, as well as they feel like it's starting to kind of bleed over like this one experience is kind of starting to bleed over into the real world. And it's like when they saw they weren't able to bring this, these skills and these abilities and thoughts and feelings into the real world, it made them reevaluate internally, and not in a good way. They were like, maybe I am off. And then that only perpetuated more in the real world. So they're feeling disorganized externally. They're feeling totally misaligned internally. And they're concerned, I can see over here, with two different things. One, this is coming from a very loving perspective. They don't want to be the reason, and again, I'm not sure what this is, because again, this is a general reading, but it looks like they're concerned their negativity they're going through, I don't want to call it negativity, they're just feeling off right now, is going to bleed over into your personal happiness with other people and doing your thing and living your good life, and they're worried about how it's going to affect you. They're also just in general worried this is going to be the thing that isolates themselves from you. This is what they think. They think that you still love them or are into them, friendship, romance, whatever the situation is, but they think that you're already aware of how it can go in the future. So it looks like there's a lot of not being in the moment, a lot of disconcern with that, a lot of just kind of thinking the worst. They're already thinking they can't get themselves together. There's a lot of thinking that what this was a bigger deal for you. They're really putting a lot of weight on this, and there's just a desire to want to prove to you that they can overcome it, but they're already feeling like they're losing. So they know they still have you now, but they're deeply concerned about the long run. So you probably should talk to them about if this was a big deal for you or not, because if it wasn't, you could kind of help them gain perspective that they need to stop allowing this become something bigger. And if you're not even thinking about the future, pull them back to reality. Have them stop being so concerned. Honestly, I think this is a great thing that should be repeated in all 4 groups that I talk about today. If this is a negative perspective they're worried about, pull them back and say, stop being so concerned what you think I feel and ask me how I feel. So you two can get on the same page. Because that's the main thing they care about, and the most positive thing I see going on here. Everything they do is to want to make you happy and prove to you, because this was not done out of arrogance being the leader. They wanted to give you what they already had, like bring you to the next level because they felt at the time they were coming across as someone who was at the next level, whether that be spirituality, skills. They wanted to give that to you and see you achieve. So this is all out of like love and happiness and not wanting to hold you back. And they want you to be equal with them. They want to see you succeed. But they're so afraid that by just messing up this one thing, it's ruining everything else. So you need to talk to them, get on the same page with them, connect with them. But like I said, this is coming strongest through as like a friendship thing. So again, if it is romantic, there is love there, but love as an equal human being, not just purely romance and like passion type feelings. So definitely talk to your partner, friend, whatever, and have a discussion about how you feel about all of this. Otherwise, a lot of love coming through either way. If you enjoyed this reading, please feel free to give a like, comment, and subscribe. Either way, have a beautiful day. Can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye. Group number 2. Let's answer the question what they think you feel for them. Okay, let's look at your oracle card. Commitment in reverse. Your tarot cards are Queen of Cups upright, the Star upright, the High Priestess in reverse, Three of Wands in reverse, and Five of Cups in reverse. So much water. So many emotions coming through. This is weird. Okay, so for sure, without a doubt, this is an entirely romantic spread going on here. This is for you and somebody who is a romantic partner going on. It's a kind of a weird bag, but I mean, hey, that's how it gets when you get into the type of preferences where you say what they think, you think, feel for them type of thing. And keep that perspective in mind, because what I'm saying is their perspective, not, it's a perspective thing. It's not a fact. Does that make sense? Okay. So, not how things are. That's how I want to put it. So they are aware, I can see over here in the card interactions, that you are into them. You're into it. You're committed to being into it. You're giving your entire self. There's a bit of a next level sort of romantic vibe between the two of you connection wise. So this is more than just being like, oh, you kind of think they're cute. Like you're almost to the point of being like, I want to see what this is. If you're not full on like they're the one, you're like, I'm feeling this deep something going here, and you're giving it all to them. But then there is this lack of commitment going on here. They're aware that you're aware of it, essentially. And this lack of commitment, when the commitment card is in reverse, this isn't just like, oh, they're not committing. This is a fear, a consequence to committing, that if you commit, this will be a mistake. But it seems weird that they're worried about this repercussion with you when you're kind of giving all the positive signals, and they're receiving it. I don't think they're necessarily against what you're throwing out there. So, like I said, very weird that this would pop up. And it gets kind of weirder when we go over here, because this talks about, with the Three of Wands in reverse and the High Priestess in reverse, this talks about a lot of not only gossip and hearsay, sort of secondhand information they're receiving from other people, potentially about you, about if you two got together, maybe some sort of history you have with other people or whatever, but the information they're getting isn't even correct. So think of not only second, third-hand information being thrown in a blender and then being taken in. It couldn't be any more farther from the truth. So this is what's kind of making them pull back, and they are aware you're aware. Like, they're seeing that you're picking it up, and they're how do I put this? They know that you're still fighting for them because you're aware that this is not true. You're like feeling and picking it up. Now, I just want to, before we go into all of this even more confusing information, this is one of the weirdest spreads I've gotten in a while. I just wanted to pull a few cards to understand, like, what is this gossip they're hearing, this like secondhand information about you. Got Six of Pentacles, Ten of Wands, and Eight of Wands in reverse. Huh. Okay, the confusion continues. Again, this is a general reading, So it looks like there is a lot. It is just stressing them the heck out. It looks like it's the main culprit. We're getting a direct message of there was some information about either the way you also simultaneously kind of connect to everyone as well as them in a relationship. I don't know if they're just jealous that you're a very social person, you're not somebody who just wants to get like locked down in one relationship and not have other friends and stuff like that, or if they're just concerned maybe you're like a workaholic or maybe you're a very flirty person. Whatever it is, whatever it is, they heard about the giving of yourself to other people. Again, this can be flirtatious, financial, attention, whatever it is. It stressed them the heck out. It's the big culprit that made them pull back, and it looks like things were going really positive. It must have been a very fast, whirlwindy type of romance. Everything was great, and it just came to a dead halt. It was the main thing they brought to the party, and they are aware they kind of caused it. They're aware, you're aware, and they pulled back because of this information. They're the one that stopped this building of this positive romance going on. And the thing that's, it gets kind of interesting and double layered as humans tend to be, is we have the Five of Cups over here. So there's almost this simultaneous, like, you're really into them, but you're already kind of accepting that it might be over, that you're like, oh, I don't know what to do to convince them if they're so hooked on this perspective and this information going on. So essentially what I'm getting at is there's just layers of confusion, information being given to them that's not correct. I kind of can't help but wonder. No, Spirit's telling me, I was wondering if someone's self-sabotaging you. Spirit's telling me someone's kind of getting involved unintentionally. This is like an indirect sort of involved. It's like, you know when sometimes people gossip to gossip, like they're not intending to mess up your life. They don't have any personal problems with you. They kind of deliver information offhandedly, move on with their life. They might not have even known that this information would be of value of them, essentially. But I'm being told by Spirit this was not intentional to mess up anything between the two of you. But this is important to know that this is incorrect. It is the main thing that caused them to pull back. They're aware, you're aware, but because they are aware nonetheless of the potential going on here, it's like there's too much potential to go either way. And I think that both of you need to have a clear conversation being like, listen, what was said to you? Let's talk about this. So we can kind of get on the same page here. We had something good. Can we go back to that? It doesn't need to stop. You need to understand what's being told to you here. You've gotten to know me. I have the information. You're not being lied to. Why would you take someone else's opinion for greater face value than the person you've got to know intimately? Please understand that I would not like it to be this way, but I also respect you. This is something, and Spirit's telling me this too. This is kind of a respect thing of, how do I put this? Like, they see you as somebody who is very independent and confident and kind of almost of greater value than them. And oh, now that's making sense. Now the Six of Pentacles is making sense. They see that you're worth more as a human being, which is like ridiculous because we're all equal, but sometimes they think that you can get other people besides them, and there's the concern for it, that you feel greater than them, or I'm sorry, you are worth more in their eyes than them, and they're afraid that you'll just move on very easily, and you need to be like, well, wait a minute. It's very nice of you to think of me that way, but can we talk? I don't have a problem with this relationship. Can we please continue? Can you please get out of your insecure head for a second and just appreciate what's going on here? So I kind of went off there for a second. I didn't mean to go off on your partner, but definitely talk to them. There's a lot of layers upon layers of confusion. They're probably totally feeling off right now, and there should be no warning or negativity here. It's all positive, even just how they view you. But yeah, definitely talk to them. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I will talk to you in the next one. Either way, have a beautiful day. Group number 3, let's answer the question, what they think you feel for them. Let's start off with your oracle card. Goblins in reverse. Your tarot cards are Knight of Cups in reverse, Five of Pentacles upright, Four of Pentacles in reverse, the Moon upright, and Knight of Pentacles in reverse. There are so many pause buttons I see here in the relationship. So many like hurdles, things that are preventing all this possibility. And that's the thing here. There's a lot of potential going on here. A lot of love, a lot of dedication, but a lot of what could be and is being asked, requested, like please. Now keep in mind, what I'm about to say is their perspective of how they think you feel for them. It's not how you might feel. I mean, you might feel this way, but it's how they think you feel for them. So, like I said, let's start off with the main thing here. And this general concept in one shape, way, or another gets repeated in different segments. They're all kind of saying somewhat of the same thing, but this probably sums it up the best. So it looks like they're going through the Goblin's card. I can see they're going through some issues. But they are aware that these issues they're dealing with kind of come over and weigh you down, so to speak. And they don't want that necessarily, but they're unable to stop what they're going through. And it looks like even though this is happening and they would not like this to happen to you, they're aware, you're aware that it's a problem in the relationship. They can see you fighting to still be there for them. You're somebody who wears your heart on your sleeve. You want to be there to comfort them as many times as they need it. But it is a problem. It's not something they're aware you'd like it to be a different way. This gets communicated best here with the Five of Pentacles in relationship to the Four of Pentacles. It talks about a lack of wanting the situation and the relationship to be more fun, more open-hearted. Let's see what can be. Let's enjoy the unknown. Let's stop worrying about what we have a limited, this makes out, both of these cards in relationship can directly talk about finances. Maybe the problems that are getting them down is they're so worried about running out of money. They're worried about, like, are you spending too much money? That could be the problem. But this lack of mindset is just a general clutching to what they have, and what they have can be maybe their emotional resources, so to speak, and they're so consumed with that rather than seeing all the possibilities of what could be. And you're kind of like, oh my gosh, please, can we have more fun? Can we not see all the problems that we have and we keep repeating and we're dealing with, and maybe see all the things that are outside of ourselves? Maybe even in your heart of hearts, there's a feeling of that being the solution to all these problems. But now over here, I can see that there is a wall they kind of put up with you, a certain way they like to present themselves. And it's funny because even though all these problems are going on and there's certain mindsets you're aware of, so you seem to know them pretty well, you're still aware that there's something deeper. That's why these problems keep presenting themselves. They're not just full on admitting maybe whether it be a lack of confidence or their inability to let go. When I see this inability to let go, this certain mindset of lacking, when I see over here the Knight of Pentacles, this talks about perfectionism and this obsession to wanting to appear a certain way. There's such a control element going on here. It's like they can't let go of this desire to have things turn out or be perceived a certain way. But ultimately, it's kind of humorous that they're so focused on being controlling when it's not actually working out to their benefit at all. It's kind of doing the opposite. And you're there for them. You're into them, you love them, you want to be there for them, but you also want to see the real side of them. You're like, can you let go of all these preconceived notions? Can we just be ourselves? Can we just have some fun? Can we stop being obsessed with being perfect? I'm there for you and I want to be there for you, and I'm open-hearted and empathetic and sympathetic enough and compassionate enough to see your problems, but none of this has to be there. That's the general awareness. So when I see that they think that you feel that way, they can feel, and this is their perception again, they can feel your love, they can feel your dedication, and they are very appreciative of it. They can feel your true intentions and your best intentions to want to get to know the real them. But when I see all of this, there's so much resistance. Not because they aren't in love with you, but there's almost this out of love for you and respect for you. They're afraid that you will see an even darker, uglier side of them. When I don't think they're aware, from what I'm seeing in the cards and spirits actually telling me right now, that the version you're getting is kind of as ugly as it gets. This not fun part of them, this kind of more neurotic side, that's as ugly as it gets. The real them, the core them, I don't think they're even connected to. They've been lost in this for so long. It will be a huge epiphany for them to let all of this go and really kind of get to know the person that they are. So this mask that they're aware they're putting on, and they see that you see it, is not meant, like, they don't know how to remove it. They're aware that it's there, but they're not really quite sure what's underneath it all, so to speak. So definitely consider trying to change it. Think of all these cards as opposing. You know what I mean? Like, if you're dealing with problems and you're so worried about bothering me about them, I'm pretending I'm you, maybe let's just take a break from the problems. It's not about ignoring them. It's just, maybe, why don't we just pretend our problems are like a job and we're going to leave them. Let's just focus on anything else but then what's on our mind. And if you're so worried about what isn't there, maybe we take a break from the idea of money. Maybe we go to do this thing for free, but don't worry about the fact that it's free. We're not free. Let's just stop worrying about money right now, or what we don't have to give, or, so let's just take a break from that. And I'd like to get to know the real you, but stop thinking that the real you has to be perfect. If you're not always the best version of yourself, maybe you're a little not the funniest, or maybe you're a little more disorganized, or maybe you get grumpy or sarcastic. That's okay. Let it go. Let's get to know that person together. It can be an exciting, fun thing. So again, a lot of love, a lot of compassion. They see and enjoy your dedication, but they also can feel that you want more. Maybe you can help them navigate that in themselves. But definitely take note that you don't have to be the person to have all the answers and have the solution. Sorry, Spirit's just like inserting themselves in right now. To just don't think that you have to be the only leading figure in this relationship. Just kind of open the door for conversation, and then maybe pull a little away and let them kind of figure some stuff out simultaneously. But it can be a positive journey you share together, though. So yeah, if you enjoyed this reading, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Either way, I'll see you in the next one. Have a beautiful sunny day. You see the beautiful sun coming in? Woo, woo, woo. And let's get ready for group number 4. Group number 4, let's answer what they think you feel for them. Your oracle card is Encouragement in Reverse. Your tarot cards are Knight of Wands upright, 8 of Pentacles upright, Page of Cups in reverse, the Magician in reverse, and the World upright. Huh. They messed up. Yeah, it kind of almost feels like, yeah, okay, so I know what's going on here. So it looks like you were bringing your A game. Now remember, before I go into all of this, this is not necessarily how you are. You might connect with this. It's how they think you think of them. So this is all about their perspective on the matter. So it looks like they were fully aware and are acknowledging, with the utmost respect, of what you were bringing to the relationship. You were bringing your A game. You were bringing passion. You were working hard to make it a relationship when it comes to things like dating. You were like, let's go watch some Netflix together. Let's go out to eat at a restaurant. Whatever it is, there was an act of like, let's do the things that will build something bigger between the two of us. So you were doing what humans do when it comes to a relationship. But unfortunately, unfortunately, it looks like they were bringing the complete opposite. Over here with the commitment card in relationship to the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Wands, think of you as the Knight of Wands. You're bringing this excitement, you're bringing this, your enthusiasm for making this become something. There's a really sweet, diligent quality to your loving. And then with the encouragement card in reverse, this kind of says you trusted the wrong person. You had the best intentions, but it didn't work out, unfortunately. It wasn't going to work out. It just was what it was. Your heart was in the right place, but unfortunately it wasn't in the right direction, if that makes sense. The intention was there, but the correct road wasn't. Now, it looks like as you were taking your time and trying to make it work and just, asking them what they needed and just kind of very in the moment, building something when it comes to the real world of dating, if this makes sense. I sound so cryptic when I'm talking right now. You know what I mean. It looks like you were unaware of for a long time because you were more concerned with being here now and enjoying the act of dating and courting with them, that their affection towards you wasn't really as authentic as it could have been, unfortunately. It looks also like the magician just talks about, in reverse, talks about somebody who's a fake, a fraud. This also talks about somebody who is a kind of fake it till you make it type of person, but in a negative way. So it looks like they wanted to come across a certain way to you and wanted to impress themselves. And over time you realized it was a facade and not out of for sure there is a lack of insecurity going here, and that's not a negative thing. We all got to start somewhere to become the person we would like to be. But you started to realize between the fact that they maybe weren't bringing the same sort of concern and attention and love for you the way you were, and kind of this vibe they were putting out that who wasn't really what they were, it kind of doesn't make the best combination of, this isn't really the person you really feel drawn to, if that makes sense. But the thing that's interesting here with the World card is we're getting kind of a mixed message bag going on here. With the World card, this talks about wanting, after all of this, essentially, you brought your A game in many different departments. It wasn't the right person to bring it to. You saw through that. And you kind of potentially, they're aware that you might want to move on without them and find that happiness somewhere else. But for whatever reason, there's still this desire to, despite all of this, want to still be connected to them and almost go out into the world with them still. It's like you want to leave this internal conflict, this in-house thing, and you still care about their perspective and you want to share things with them. There's a bit of affection. You still haven't fully gone out the window and fully giving up on them in the relationship. You want to share things with them still. But at the same, on the line type of decision being made here, you're still considering other options with other people now that you've seen what you've seen. Because, they should have appreciated you more. So, essentially, there's an awareness and a consideration and an acknowledgement that everything you did was wholesome and right and great. But they kind of almost... I feel reluctant saying this, but it almost feels like there was a bit of a trickery of I'll present myself this way. They'll not even notice I'm doing this. And then over time they were like, oh wait, I messed up. I shouldn't have expressed myself this way. Oh wait, it's too late. And this is where the encouragement card in reverse comes. So I kind of feel like they would like to turn it around. There is a mistake. I think they kind of changed their mind after they got to know you, but they're aware that you're aware they messed up, and they're kind of sitting there not quite sure where you're even at. Do you want to move on without them? Is there still a chance for them? It's very on the nose and on the line like we talked before. It could go either way, and they're just kind of waiting to hear what you have to say about that. But I think the biggest thing you would need to ask and talk to them about is well, is this who you're going to be? Are you going to keep being this way? Or are we going to finally have this? Like, I know that you messed up, but I also messed up giving you my all. Is this worth it? I don't know. Like, let's talk about this, because I'm still thinking about it. I need a little more proof if you're truly a bad person, or if you have a better heart and you can change things around. But yes, so that's what's going on here. Definitely something to consider, something to talk about with this other person. Either way, I hope you have a wonderful day. I will talk to you in the next one, and see ya. Bye.